Hi, and welcome to Durham and North Yorks Community TV. I'm Carol Dodsley, and normally I'm your host for the whole of the show. Today I'm not going to be because you can probably see I'm holding myself here. I'm actually in a lot of pain, and my painkillers haven't kicked in, so I'm going to be handing over to Gerri and letting her fly solo as the host of the show. So, Gerri, we're going to go over to you. Have fun!
Thanks, Carol. Can you see us okay there?
Everybody will be able to see you. If you've white boxed that screen, they will see you. If wherever you put a white box,
Yep.
that is what will show up. Now I have I'm not white boxing anybody, so what I'll do just quickly before I drop out is I'm going to actually start up the broadcast live for you.
Okay. You leaving it to us now?
Just bear with me and I'll
Okay.
let you know.
Okay.
Okay, you are on screen, Gerri.
Right. Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. We're a little bit late, like Carol's mentioned there, and it will be by the seat in pants, the flying by the seat in pants at the moment. But I do have some with me that I'll bring out in a few minutes, and each of you will help me sort of talk about what's been going on. Last couple of weeks there haven't been many events because of the way the actual days have fallen in the month, but it's fallen quite nicely because there's been a lot of preparation going on in the background for events that are coming through. In North Yorkshire and Durham area, we're up to 5 events now. We've got 3 planned, but there's actually 3 new areas that I'm wanting to bring on. So, given the circumstances, rather than it just being the Gerri Riddiough show instead of Links Raw, I want to introduce Lisa Fenwick, who lives in Derbyshire area. And what we'll do is we'll have a little bit of a chat about that and what's happening, and then go and see the normal show, or the normal format of the show. Lisa's now giving me a hand with that, so I'm not rattling off things. So, right, here we go. Hello, Lisa. I'm on the screen.
Hi, Gerri.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very good. So just a tiny little intro there. We've got 4 new areas coming up, but obviously we've spoken quite a lot at the moment, got a lot in common, and which one of the main things we've got in common, I think, is our vision and focus for where we're going and taking it to grow.
Yeah.
You have your first event booked for the 23rd of September.
Yes.
Coffee morning, 10 till 12:30.
Yeah.
Venue to be confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to speak to you about is obviously the role in community, our role, but also in bringing communities back together again. I thought it would be appropriate just to share this picture that I put on last night. You'll know what I mean. What if we came together to build each other up instead of tearing each other down? It was something I put on Facebook last night. I know you shared it. I put shout outs to all of the current district leaders and the people that were involved, and tagged them and actively gave a call to action and said to people, I want you to share this. And people did. As soon as I said, this is what I want you to do, they did it. And I think we got up to about 20 shares last night. One of the things I wanted to do, just briefly, I sent it to Carol and she popped it on here for me, is to say to people, if they see this, to share it, even if it means sharing it again and again, and share it with my text that I put on, because it explains, not exhaustively by any stretch, it's just the tiniest little taster of what's been going on and what Links to Growth is actually all about. Have you got anything to add to just on that, Lisa?
Well, I've already set the youth up to come and share it amongst the friends, and I mean, some of these have got like 900 friends. So it could start, it could snowball. It's good. I like it.
Oh, I think it's time for that to gather momentum for Links to Growth itself, but also, let's say, for the youth proposition. That's for anybody who's 16 to 25.
Yeah.
We wanted to set up a little stammer there. We wanted to set up across the country is the opportunity for those in that age range to get involved with doing like the youth hangout, but for the purposes of promoting local businesses, charities, even the colleges themselves, to give young people a voice and potentially, something on there, I was talking that much, potentially to raise their own profile, get people shopping locally and more money back into the local community, which ultimately would probably result in some form of work, whether they don't have that already, because it would create opportunities by keeping money in our communities instead of spending it in great big retail parks where very little of it is actually seen locally again. Can I continue with that?
Yeah, that's fine. I joined Link for Growth basically because I'm a stay-at-home mum. I've got 7 children. I've got not a lot of chance to get out and give a committed full-time job, but I still want to give back to the community, and I know I'm not on my own. There's lots of us out there that would like to either set up our own business working from the internet. There's lots of talented people in the local area that I know myself. There's lots that would offer voluntary work, or even just somewhere that they can get their issues heard and feel that they're being listened to. You know.
Absolutely, it's something where we can come together and make things happen instead of just wondering that we're not.
That's right. It's all sectors of the community that can get involved, from businesses to local charities, volunteer workers to mums and dads at home. Whatever the circumstances, whatever the reason that they're at home, it doesn't mean that them and their children can't get involved and start, building a cohesive community once again.
Yeah, absolutely, and that everybody is important. Everybody,
That's right.
everyone has a role to play in society. There's not anybody that should be feeling left out, or that feel that they couldn't be a part of what we're doing and bringing to the UK. Essentially, this is already running in South, and now my mission that I set a few weeks ago to get about the same number of groups, about 70 groups, in the North running concurrently with the South as they're running now.
It can be done if more people just see the vision, and more people are realising that money isn't everything. The work till you die situation isn't everything. That they need something a bit, not to say that family is important, of course it is, but families are only as strong as the communities they live within. It'd be good if everybody could see it and just jump on board.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was the picture that we put up. If you stumble across it on Facebook, please feel free to share, everybody, share it again and again, just so that we can get in front of more people and people actually start to realise what Link for Growth is. A lot of people see it and they just assume it's another networking group, a business networking group. Well, business networking is only about 30% of the population, but it excludes 70%. There's an element of business there that can come along, and it's not about standing there saying, this is what I do, buy my stuff. It's about saying, what can I give? How can I help you? How can I be a part of a better part of the community? How can I be a better me? Effectively, that's what we're looking for, those types of people that are willing to come along and take part in that. Focus down at the camera. Eyes are all over the place. So we've been chatting a couple of weeks now. Was it only last week that I mentioned to you about actually bringing on? You said you're quite happy to do an event.
Yeah.
And then that sort of developed, and then I dropped a bit of a bombshell onto you.
Just a little one.
What to do with this?
Why not?
Yeah, I love the fact that you didn't go, run away. You said, yeah, absolutely, definitely. If I can do someone, as I keep saying, someone has to do something. Yeah. We're all someone, and I'm really, really grateful that you took up the challenge and said, yeah, I'll do that.
No, I was honoured actually. I mean, like I say, I am a busy person. I've got 7 children. I home educate, and I do a lot of volunteer work with the youth. But there's still more that can be done, and we need venues. We need somewhere in the community that people know that's regularly on, that's regularly there, that can speak for them, that can listen to them, and can reach all sectors. Like I say,
yeah.
It's about serving a higher purpose, isn't it, and a deeper role.
Yes, absolutely. And I think with you mentioning venues there, I think it's quite important to say if there are people locally that have venue. We prefer sort of community businesses rather than big chains, because again the money's coming back into the community, instead of ending up somewhere completely different. For every pound that's spent locally in a local vicinity in the community, 50 pence stays in that economy. If it's not, if we drive to the retail parks and such like, only 10 pence stays in. That's really by way of the person's salary that's being paid. Certainly when I was younger, we would have gone to local shops to get furniture, anything. You'd go and see what they've got, order it, and it would be delivered to you from that company, and then we would have stayed within the local area. So anybody who's got, I'm actually working with Mind, Nick, I've mentioned for weeks now, we've got something penciled down there for a coffee, an afternoon tea, on a Saturday afternoon. That's a child-friendly event. So again, it's open to bring children, because they might not have babysitters all the time, and they might be at work during the week. So, but Mind have a cafe, and for every pound that's spent in that cafe, the whole pound is put back into the charity, into the business, because even the staff in there are all volunteers. So if anybody knows businesses, charities like that we can support back, and they will support us, then I'm really good to go with that.
That's a good idea. I mean, there is a local charity here that runs specifically for the youth, so that the Link for Youth things would be good. And I actually know one of the volunteers that works in that shop, so I might that's a good idea. I think I might approach him about that.
Brilliant. Okay, so we've got your first event the 23rd. We'll announce the venue on that one as soon as we've got something lined up, but it's important just to get started, put a date in place. We've got Damien Nelson doing a launch in Bradford on the 29th of September. And we want to speak a little bit in advance here. We do try and just talk about the week and such like, but I think it's important to do this because if somebody's watching and they know somebody in Derbyshire, in Bradford, in the northwest, I'm talking the Lakes area, Penrith, Carlisle, and also in Newcastle, I'll be joined by Dee, 20 minutes in point on Community TV, might be next week or the week after. Again, it's the Jenny Braithwaite from Penrith, and Damien Nelson will get on somehow. He's at work during the day when this is on, but we'll somehow make it work on that. So yeah, anybody in those areas, feel free to get in touch with myself or Lisa, give us a shout. Some of the things I wanted to mention, I don't know if you can see these. I don't normally put these on, but I thought, well, I will do to show. We've got linked to pins now, so people that are involved heavily in setting groups up and attending them regularly and actually hosting the event, or even just introducing people to come along, a bit of a meet and greet wall, that sort of thing, helping us promote it on social media. There's a bit of a reward, a recognition for being stepping up, like we've said there, that for getting involved and saying, yep, I'll do that. Also, when people subscribe, you get a badge, it's got your QR code on it. When somebody takes a picture of that, it takes you straight to your profile. So it kind of eliminates the business cards. You can also put anything on there on your profile, anything that you want somebody to know about. Again, back to social media, your Twitter pages, Facebook pages, that sort of thing. I just wanted to mention those briefly because some of you, I've got some lined up for people in my area and looking to another area near you, be yourself, Lisa, and Dee, and the others. Events we've got in this area coming up, there's Link for Drinks in Saltburn next Wednesday night. That's at the Spa Hotel from 6:30. Following morning we've got breakfast at the Belly, which is at Perkins in the Museum, and that's 8:30 till 10 on the morning. Following week, we've got a relaunch of Middlesbrough. I'll say a bit more about that next week. Got a new venue, it's back in Green Community Centre, and it's a huge, great big building. It's absolutely fantastic. And we're holding it in the Gateway, which is over at Middlehaven. Fantastic venue again, but it's just miles away from anybody. So if we're going to community build, we'll come there later, but it's time to get into an actual community first and go where the people are rather than expecting people to come to us. So That's the events that are coming up. I just wanted to mention as well. I've been out and about today down at the market. We're just talking about shopping locally, getting people putting money back into the people that they are surrounded by daily, basically. Bring some more information on that next week, such as pictures that I can share up there. Thought I might get them done today, but I was a bit of some hurtling back and sending pictures to Carol, and she's done them. But I think put a little bit more, I can be more prepared with that next week to actually share them properly. So that's probably all I've got to share this week, I think. It's been quite a lot going on in the background right today. But, is there anything you want to add, Lisa?
No, just to reiterate what you said about anybody in Derbyshire that would like to offer us a venue for either drinks, tea, coffee, breakfasts, anybody that would like to offer a child-friendly venue, and anybody that would like to come along, just come and have a drink with us, find out what we can do. Between us all, there's answers there.
Excellent, fantastic. So it's been considering.
My painkillers are starting to kick in. I've just come back into the room, and I just wanted to bring up training that's happening next week. I haven't been able to have a look at the whole of the training for next week for Link for Growth, but I am actually running a Google Plus with Intent workshop next Thursday. It starts the 14th of August. It's a half-day workshop for everybody. If you're a subscriber with Link for Growth, it is just £15 to learn all about Google Plus. If you're not a subscriber yet, it's $25. So no matter where you're coming from, it is really great cost. My brain's just gone. It's great value for the money. So do go over to the Link for Growth website. We'll put a link into the event page for you so that you can click straight through and find out more about that and book a place, because we do still have some spaces available.
Perfect. Can I just, am I right to just add to that?
Of course you are. Please do.
So I've been on some of the trainings. I'm booked in for the Facebook one. What I wanted to say is they are open to everybody. As Carol said there, £25 if you're not a subscriber, $15 if you are. They're absolutely fantastic. I remember saying a few weeks, months ago, oh, I won't need G+. No, you don't understand, because I do this for a living, and that everything sort of changed. And there's more and more people now. There's people even just last night saying, I really need to get to grips with Google Plus. I know, I'm sort of behind everybody else. You're not, there's a lot of us that haven't caught up yet. But this is a fantastic tool that there's the mini workshop for £15, and then there's also longer trainings that I know, Carol, you've done previously, and we'll be doing again, a little bit more intense. But for the cost, you're not going to get that sort of training anywhere else, and we're doing it to help people so that people can help themselves and grow new skills that they can then use, be it for their business, for to just communicate locally, get new introductions with people, just expand and grow as individuals. If that helps any.
That was brilliant. That was a really good continuation of my very short and sharp introduction to what it was. As you can see, I'm not myself today, really. I just want to say a big shout out as well to both you and Lisa. I basically dropped you in it about 2 minutes before we went live, and you didn't have much opportunity to be prepared for actually hosting your own show, and I think you've both done an absolutely fantastic job.
Do you want to speak, Lisa?
Sorry?
I thought you might want to say just thank you.
Oh, just thank you for the opportunity. It's nice to be able to speak from my local area. I just want to do it proud.
Yeah. And I've learned something about myself for today that, well, I've probably always known. But I learned better being chucked in at the deep end. I've had a 6-week training course there that I've done 3 weeks of, that I got in March. And I've learned more today than I have done previously. So I can say, keep chucking us in at the deep end, isn't it, Lisa? That's just the best way. So I'm forgetting who's on camera there. So, right, back to you, Carol.
Oh,
Great stuff.
Okay, so that was it for today's TV show. A bit of a different show, but it's always great, and that's one of the great things about Link for Growth. This isn't about structure and processes and everything is always done exactly the same way. This is about real people connecting with real people and bringing people together. So a big thanks again to the two girls that they managed to take over when I wasn't able to. Hopefully the painkillers will have kicked in a bit more by 4 o'clock because I have Alex's community TV. If they haven't, you'll be seeing Gerri again because she's going to go over and host that one as well.
I've got to nip out. I've got to go for spiritual mentoring, but I can be back for just after 5, 5:15, something like that.
Oh, well, by then it'll be over, so you won't be hosting that one.
I would have stepped in, but I've just got to dash out.
I will do my best to make sure these painkillers have kicked in properly and host that one with Alex. So thank you to everybody, and we will see you again next week.
Thanks, Carol.
Carol, bye.
Bye.
Remember to